A lot of men would have much greater results within dating and relationships if they simply stopped pursuing women. It's not to say that you need to avoid women. It's not to say that you don't have an interest in women and you don't want to have a relationship. It's to say that you need to stop chasing and start focusing on yourself. A lot of guys are chasing women, but their lives are a mess. They're not in shape, they're not happy, they're not mentally focused, they haven't got any ambition, they don't have any direction in their life, and they're just chasing women to fill a hole, to fill a gap within themselves. And they get into relationships and they're happy for a short while, but then eventually the women within those relationships will realize that they're with a guy who doesn't have much ambition, who isn't very switched on, and isn't very happy with himself, and they'll subsequently make the right decision to leave those guys. And then guys will cry about it and say that all women are bad and all women are terrible, and they'll go on blaming their lack of success on women rather than themselves. And what I say is, look, I'm not saying don't have relationships. I'm not saying don't, start courting a woman if a good opportunity presents itself. But first and foremost, guys, please sort your lives out before you're looking to add something in, to add someone into your life. You need to make it so that if you have a girlfriend or if you have a woman that you're flirting with, talking with, dating, enter your life, it needs to be a pretty good life. I'm not saying that your life has to be sorted and mended completely and perfect, but you need to have some idea of what it is you want to do with your life. You need to have some level of financial knowledge. You need to be in good shape. Not saying that everyone needs to look like a bodybuilder, but some of the state that a lot of guys are in right now is terrible. And this isn't good as a foundation for a relationship. Girls like men who are in good shape. Girls like men who are financially responsible. Girls like men who are ambitious. And if you are searching for women and searching for a relationship and you don't have any of those qualities, then I'd say you're doing things the wrong way around. I would say you need to fix your life first and then look to bring somebody in. Because in the long run, you're just harming yourself. In the long run, you're setting yourself up for failure. When you get yourself into good shape, when you start taking care of your finances and stop making silly financial decisions, when you start to invest in yourself and your health and your future, when you have a clear lens to the future of what it is you want to do and you have ambition and you actually start developing a nice life, women will take an interest in you. They really will. They'll see you as very different to the crowd because most guys will take the approach that I'm talking about previously and chase women desperately when their life is a mess. And I don't mean it to be harsh messaging, but it's the hard truth. A lot of guys are in a messy situation right now and they don't like their lives. And what they will do is they will try and find a girl to come into their life and fix those issues. Well, let me tell you, women don't want to be your mother. She's not your mother. She's not meant to come and cuddle you when things get tough. She's not meant to come and fix all of your issues. She's not meant to be your nurse and repair your life. You're supposed to do that. That's one of the basic responsibilities as a man. Fix your own life. Women don't want a guy that they feel like they have to babysit and mollycoddle and really look after like an infant. They want a guy who isn't perfect. I don't think women want the perfect guy. I think a lot of guys will say that. But they want a guy who has a good idea about what he wants to do. A guy that's switched on. A guy that cares about himself and the way he looks. And that's in your physical self, as in your physique, but also the way you present yourself, the way you dress, the way you articulate, the way you present overall. Women just want a guy like that, who puts himself across well and looks after himself. But as I say, there are so many guys who are just doing the complete opposite and looking for women to come into their life to fill a void of their own creation. And these guys will have terrible results. Maybe they have short-term success because they are quite manipulative and they will say things that are untrue to please women. They will go to tremendous lengths to even have the slightest chance of a bit of sex. They really will. They'll bend over backwards. They'll get rid of any morals that they have. They'll twist any beliefs they have just to have a sniff, just to have a shot. And these guys wonder why their mental health is the way it is. They wonder why they have such low self-worth. Just because there's no principle, there's no morality. There's nothing that they stand for. And I believe this fundamentally to be because they never took the time to do the deep work on themselves. They never took the time to be alone for a while. A lot of guys are terrified of being alone. Terrified. And when you're alone, it's actually some of the best time because you really understand yourself. You really get to work on yourself. You really get to understand what you like and what you don't like. Every guy, I think, needs 6 months, at least, just to focus on himself, just to get necessary work done, just to start making incredible change. Get in good shape, educate yourself, learn new skills, transform your dress sense, look sharper. A lot of guys would benefit from 6 months to just lock in. 6 months to step away from women. Block out distractions, because women can be a big distraction for young guys. Really can. A lot of guys will find themselves constantly in and out of relationships and subsequently never doing this deep work that is necessary. Now, if you're with the right woman, she will actually help you to do the deep work. She will actually encourage you to do the work. And look, if you're in a healthy relationship, you'll both encourage each other, right? But I would say that's a rarity. And even then, you don't want to depend on women to kick your ass and get you out of bed and get you to the gym. You know, a lot of guys are in relationships right now and their girl is telling them, babe, don't you think it would be a good idea to get to the gym? And the guy's saying, oh, I don't really feel like it right now, a bit tired. And what she's really saying is, babe, you're drying me up. I'm not very attracted to you right now. You're fat, you're lazy. Please get back in the gym and make yourself more attractive. Women will tell you this when you're in relationships, and a lot of guys will miss this. A lot of guys won't see the signs. And they'll think, oh, she's just looking out for me. She's just being kind to me. No, she's telling you, you are drying me up. Get in the gym. I'm not attracted to you anymore. Lose some weight. And it's sad. It's sad that guys are in this situation. And they're in this situation again because they are not taking the time to be on their own. They're so terrified of being on their own because it exposes themselves to themselves. They are forced to look at the man in the mirror when they're on their own. They are forced to look at their flaws. They are forced to look at their inadequacies. They are forced to look at the areas that need work. And you can take this as a negative, but it's absolutely a positive, because when you really are exposed to the man in the mirror and all of his flaws, you have a wonderful opportunity to start adjusting them and correcting them and making change. I know friends, I know people that are very close to me that just hop in and out of relationships all the time. There's never a period where they are alone. They're always talking to a girl. Always. And they're giving it so much time and so much attention. And subsequently, when you give that attention to girls, you are taking it away from yourself. And because of that, they don't ever really grow. They don't ever really progress. And it's sad to see, and I wish more men would understand that, hey, being alone isn't always a bad thing. Being alone can be a very good thing. You can make some wonderful improvements and wonderful changes on your own, being solo without women, that will actually have better results for you in the long term with women. It's weird to think that if you step away from the girls, you'll have better results than you would if you just chase. But a friend gave me this analogy once, and he said that whatever is running away from you, you are naturally chasing them. If you're chasing them, they're running away from you. I want you to think about it in this respect. If you see a cat on the street, and I don't know, you're on holiday in a nice hot country, and there's a stray cat, you're sat down in some cafe, and you just gently gesture to this cat to come over, it will look at you, it will check you out, it will make sure, you're not a freak, and it will slowly start to come up to you and allow you to stroke it, and maybe it will sit there and start purring. But if you just run after this cat like you would a dog, and start trying to chase it and approach it really quickly, this cat's going to shit itself. This cat's going to look at you and think, Jesus, what's this guy doing? It's going to run away, and it's going to remember your face and think, what's that pathetic, horrible human doing near me? And it's the same with girls. If you sit there and constantly chase them, they're going to see your 17th message of the day on their Snapchat, and they're going to think, oh God, this guy's gross. Does he not have anything to do with his life? What does he do all day? This is the 4th message this morning. God, he's so available. And to them, it's a big red flag because you are available. It's not good that you have that much time on your hands. It's not attractive that you are constantly chasing. But a lot of guys are stuck in this loop. And a way to end the loop is to simply take a step back for 6 months or so. Work on yourself, get your money up, get in better shape, educate yourself. I would really recommend a lot of guys to start listening to some podcasts about male and female dynamics in relationships, start reading some books on relationships, start trying to better understand women and, of course, yourself within this time, within this period of reflection and growth. And look, by the time that 6 months is over, you're going to be completely unrecognizable. And you're going to make yourself way more attractive than you were before, constantly chasing. I mean, guys, we really do need to do better. Some of the fellas are letting the side down drastically. Some of the chasing and messages that guys will send girls it's unforgivable. And we really have to improve. And as I say, a way that you can do that is to simply take a step back and stop chasing women. If you stop chasing women and you start focusing on yourself and you start improving yourself and making yourself an attractive man, at some point or another, the table's going to flip and they're going to start chasing you. I'm not saying you're going to be swimming. I'm not saying that you're going to be a king or something like that. No, but you're going to have attention from higher quality women who actually value you and value the changes that you have made, because quite frankly, you deserve that attention. When you make changes and you level yourself up, you become more attractive, you become more mature and educated and responsible, you deserve the attention that comes your way. But when you're just chasing and you are relentlessly going for even a sniff, even a shot at a little bit of sex with a woman, you don't deserve anything. And it comes across as pathetic and weak and actually ends up harming you more in the long run. So look, to summarize, guys, take a step back from women. Leave them alone. Stop chasing them. Stop pestering them. Of course, if an opportunity presents itself to you and it's a nice girl, it's a girl who you could see something serious with, then of course, you know, entertain it. But no more chasing, no more you being the instigator. Take a step back, focus on yourself, transform your body, transform your mind, educate yourself, grow, start a side hustle, build something, make yourself more attractive, not only to women and for women, but for yourself. Become a better man. And in 6 months' time, I guarantee you, you're going to have better results with women than you ever had doing the chasing and hounding approach that you've done before. Look guys, if you took some value from today's video, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and please subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. Also, you guys that are subscribed already, be sure to turn on post notifications. And of course guys, if you want to book a one-to-one call with me, check out the links down below in the description of this video. As always guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.